black box is the only part that survives the crash. Why don't they make the plane out of the black box? Just make the whole thing. Why are we even flying a plane? Let's just fly the black box. And what's the deal with 70s Fenders? Am I right, guys? Your Uncle Jimmy calls and says, I have a vintage guitar. You think you're going to pay for your kid's college with it? And then it's a 70s Fender. Oh, God. Why are they so terrible? Fender in their 60s was like your grandpa in his 60s. He's still productive. He's taking walks. He's talking about a cruise he's going on. But then it's in his 70s. He's eating cream corn at 4 p.m. for dinner. What's going on with that? He's wearing sweatpants all day.
In 1977, Billy Joel recorded Just the Way You Are, an incredible, beautiful love song that you would not sing about 70s Fenders. I know I might get canceled for saying it, but they are not perfect just the way they are. There are lots of pitfalls. We've had a bunch come through the shop. We love them. We deeply, it is our thing. It is our thing to hunt for 70s Fenders and work on them and get them to where we like them. And I know I've had a lot of y'all lust after this thing and say, when are you selling it? Well, it's not for sale. Unless you're offering me a ton of money to which I could buy a bunch more 70s Fenders and then find one that we like. Long story short, we love 70s Fenders, but here's some pitfalls y'all might want to know about. So we're going to give you guys some clips. We're going to play a 70s Fender amp that's been modded. Let's be candid. We had to do a little work on this thing too. And we'll play our 70s style fuzz and phaser because that's kind of our vibe, you know. And we've got to promote our own work too, but we hope you enjoy it.
Weight on these guitars. Does anyone want a Telecaster that weighs 10 pounds? Was that an anti-theft thing? Like someone wants to steal your Telecaster and they pick it up and they say, no thanks. I'll go actually work and buy one. Why do I want to steal this Telecaster that weighs 10 pounds? Am I right?
All right, friends, we're going to let you in on some things that have worked for us. I almost feel like I'm giving up like the golden goose here of stuff that's been really rewarding for us in dealing with 70s Fender guitars, but we're good to go. I feel like I've got what we want, and our collection is complete on this front, and I just want you all to be in on what has worked for us. So one of the top factors for us is weight. You can improve a lot in a guitar, but you can't really do much about the weight, especially if they're prohibitively heavy like a lot of 70s Fender stuff is. I purchased Telecasters, Stratocasters, and things from the 70s that have been north of 9 pounds, some even north of 10. And I had to let them go because they're really like an anchor. It's just not that comfy, and I think actually they don't sound that good when they're that heavy. This one is Ben's 1974 that's had a bunch of work and changes done on it, but it came in at just under 7.5 pounds. I want to say it's 7 pounds, 6 ounces. And it just feels great. It's comfy, and it's light, and it's resonant, and it feels when you wear it and play it like what you expect a nice vintage Stratocaster to feel like. So in my opinion, the weight thing is really important. And if you luck into finding a 70s Fender under 8 pounds, it's something to take a serious look at because the other stuff can be worked on, but that one is kind of non-negotiable.
What's with the pickups in these 70s Fenders? Why are they so terrible? They're not pickups. They're put downs. I don't want to pick up this instrument. I want to put it down. It sounds so terrible. They're not pickups, they're put downs.
Okay, let's talk about the pickups in the 70s Fenders. In the 1970s, this was the best pickup that Fender made. This is the wide range humbucker, the Seth Lover design pickup that they released in Tele Customs and Tele Deluxes and some other instruments. But this is the best Fender pickup of the 1970s. Now, do you want to know what the second best pickup Fender made in the 70s is? This pickup. And no, I'm not talking about the Tele Bridge pickup that's here in this bag. I'm talking any pickup that you took out of a 70s Fender that you stuck in a bag and then threw in your case. Let's be candid about this. The guitar industry has gotten really good at making pickups. There are a lot of really good pickup winders that can make nicer stuff. And in the 70s, Fender's work, let's just say they weren't sending their best. This is my conspiracy rant on 70s Fender pickups. Flash the conspiracy rant up there on the screen, okay? Conspiracy rant, unproven hypothesis, okay? I think there are a lot of MBAs who were working for CBS at the time who padded their resumes about cost-cutting 10% by simply removing 10% of the windings on a lot of 70s pickups, which is why a lot of Fender pickups from that time are really underwound. They're measuring under 6K, under 2.5 Henrys of inductance, and I bet some MBA was like, I know it'll save us a bunch of money. We can remove 10% of the copper windings. And then they have a line item on their resume when they went to go work at General Electric or General Motors or some other 70s company that would mess up. So long story short, yeah, there are a lot of good pickup winders out there. The science is kind of settled on this now. And I think we've tried a bunch of different stuff. Ben has Duncan's in his 74 Strat. That 76 Mocha has Porters. This has a Righteous Sound. We've tried McNally's and Lawlers and different stuff in them. All sounded better than what was in their stock. I think what you're looking for is out there if you're willing to hunt.
And what's with the playability of these things? They're terrible. You can't play. They're not playable. You know why you'll find so many in like mint condition? Because they never got played. It's true. Your Uncle Jimmy played it for like a week and then put it under his bed thinking one day people will care about the 25th anniversary Stratocaster. But they don't.
There's a reason your Uncle Jimmy's 1976 natural Strat that weighs 9.5 pounds is in near mint condition. It's because it was nearly unplayable. And a lot of 70s Strats, a lot of 70s Fender stuff has this issue. I mean, it's a combination of different factors. You've got a thinner nut here, you've got a big fat net, and you got a 7.25 radius. That isn't necessarily super comfy for a lot of people. So be willing to change those things. Our Tele has a 10-inch radius on this. This Strat has 6,100 or 6,000 jumbo frets on it that feel really good. You have to be willing to change some things to make the instrument work for you. We put Porter Custom Vintage pickups in here. I absolutely love these pickups because they solved for me what was the cognitive dissonance of this guitar. You had this beater-looking guitar that was rough and tumble, and then the pickups were all weak and anemic and polite, and these things were more beefy and powerful, and it felt like, this is now a coherent instrument that sounds like it feels and looks. And that's a big thing that people run into with some of these guitars. If it's a light guitar that's been worn down, there's good reason for it. It's because someone liked playing it. And if it's a fresh looking guitar, there's probably good reason why it's still that fresh, especially from that era.
Mason and a 70s Fender, and you're canceled. Oh my gosh, I got canceled. My next special is all going to be about how I got canceled. I'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks for enjoying this video. I hope you all enjoyed the observational gear comedian. Maybe we'll bring him back, or not. Maybe never. It's pretty painful. It's kind of, it reminds me of a quote Roger Ebert said about a movie he hated. It was unintentional comedy masquerading as intentional comedy. You know, perhaps. But anyway, if you've gotten to this part of the video, we really hope you sign up for our mailing list. I'm going to put a link to it in the bottom. There's something really cool happening for us next week, and we want you in on that. So stick around. Thanks so much.